Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Farrell Area School District athletic broadcast. Tonight, we have the Farrell Steelers taking on the Erie Royals. For the Steelers, they're coming in on the heels of a tough loss to Kennedy Catholic, 85-51 this past Saturday. Denzel Driver was able to put up number 13, a 13-point outing against the Eagles, led the team in scoring. For the Royals, it'll be J.J. Woodward. He'll be your star to watch tonight. He'll guide his Royals into action following a 22-point outing in Erie's 58-51 victory against McDowell. Both star athletes leading their team into what is going to be a high-profile game and a game in which both of these teams could possibly end up in the state championship this March. I'm Eric Bell, and following the starting lineup, we will get to action. For the Royals, their starters will be Bowles, Woodward, Darnell, Shepin, and Smith. And for your Steelers, our starters, Denzel Driver, Christian Hartley, Trian Holden, Omar Stewart Jr., and Jamin Holden. The Royals will get the tip. And Woodward will bring it up. He's going to be heavily guarded here by Driver. The pass over to Bowles. Bowles finds Darnell down in the corner. It's stolen by Driver on an inside pass. Driver over to Hartley. Hartley gets it back out to Holden. Holden found a lane. Defense crashed. Got tied up in the air. Back out to Stewart. Stewart wanted to go low to Hartley. Won't get it. He'll go back out to Driver. Driver will set up the offense. He's guarded heavily by Woodward. Almost picked the pocket. Bowles tried to jump the steal, didn't get it. Nice fake there by Hartley. Over to Stewart. Stewart went for the mid-range. Couldn't get it to fall. Rebound Bowles. He'll push it up. He gets it up to Darnell. Darnell saves it back out to Bowles. Bowles on the drive. Kick over to the corner. That's Shepin for three. It's short. Rebound Holden. He couldn't hang on to it. Goes up. Smith with the slam. Hartley will bring it up. Back over to Holden. Holden now trying to get something to go here for the Steelers early. Back out to Hartley. Hartley off the screen from Jamin Holden. He's going to pass back out to Denzel Driver. Bowles tried to jump the pass, won't get it. Mid-range shot just short. Smith on the rebound. He gives it to Woodward. Woodward pushing it up the floor. He gives him the oop! The slam for Darnell. And Coach Stewart will take an early timeout. Not looking good for the Steelers. They need to come up with something. And above all else, do not let the Royals put their heads above the rim. The Steelers so far are doing what they do best, pushing the ball up the floor, getting the tempo going. But their defense has fallen behind quickly. You do not want to do that against this Erie team. They can push the ball up the floor. They like to score fast. They will run your tempo and try to beat you at your speed, which is exactly what they're doing thus far. Great early timeout by Coach Stewart. Hopefully the Steelers can regroup. Driver with it. He'll go back to Holden. Holden over to Hartley. The Royals come out in the press following the timeout. He gets it up to Jamin Holden. Jamin cross-court pass to Trian Holden. Trian for three. Off the window, won't go. Tried to be saved. The Driver, he won't hold on to it. The Royals will take the possession. And now Woodward will bring it up. Coach Koval calling out the play. Bowles now the man in charge. He'll go back to Woodward. The Steelers switched up to a 2-3. Ball back out to Woodward. Cross court to Bowles. Bowles on the drive. Up, under. Won't get it to go. Rebound, Tree and Holden. Denzel Driver on the way. He's got the lane. He went up. He got fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. That foul will go on Smith. It'll be his first and the team first. Driver will be at the line for 2. And he'll sink the first. And he'll miss the second. Rebound, Darnell. Woodward has it. He's going to bring it up, pushing the tempo. Cross the Bowles. On the opposite wing. Wanted to go to the corner with it, had nothing. Back to the top of the key. Woodward has it. He's being pressured by Hartley. Hartley tried to pressure him into a double team. He kicked it up early. Inside pass from Bowles. That one's going to go to Smith, and he'll be fouled going up. He'll go to the line for 2. Denzel Driver for the Steelers, recently stepping up in the absence of Eric Hobson, who graduated last year. Denzel Driver being the star, the guy that the Steelers have played through. He had a career-high 21 last week against Jamestown and put up 13 Saturday against the Kennedy Catholic Golden Eagles. Tonight, he looks to lead the Steelers to another victory against the Erie Royals, a game in which they have fallen behind, not by much, but they have fallen behind early. First shot will not go for Smith. The second shot does. Erie will remain in the full court press. Trean Holden and Jamin Holden. Jamin Holden wanted to go to the middle with it. Nice awareness there by Shepard. He'll get the hands up and it'll go out of bounds. Hartley now. Guarded real close there by Woodward. At this point, the Royals are just baiting the Steelers in to make a mistake. The Steelers pretty head-worthy now. Haven't made mistakes early, aside from letting the offense get behind their defense. Other than that, they've played pretty much a clean game. Only 3 minutes into the first quarter now. Holden off the screen from Tree and Holden put up a 3. Smith on the rebound. He's pushing it. He's got the whole court. He goes up, gets fouled, gets the and one. He'll go to the line for 2. Yet another mistake now by the Steelers. Like I said, they hadn't made many, but the ones they have made thus far have been very, very catastrophic. And the free throw won't go. But rebound there by Smith. He'll put it up and Darnell. He'll put it up for 2. And Hartley up the court was looking for Driver. He won't get it. Woodward will be the beneficiary of the collision. And he'll take the drive. Inside pass to Smith. Puts it up. Give him 2 more. And another timeout by Coach Stewart here as the Steelers trail behind by 10 early. Erie running and putting pressure on the Steelers, forcing mistakes. The Steelers got to clean it up. Smith thus far leading the charge, the slam dunk, the the and one opportunity he did not convert. But he's leading the group so far with 7 points. And it seems like between him and Woodward, you're going to have to stop then too. You're going to need to make 3 other players on the floor beat you in order to win this game. Substitutions come in for the Steelers. Jamin Holden will go take the seat. Bryce Butler will check in. Butler had Driver. Ball thrown just a little too high, intercepted by Darnell, who gives it to Woodward, and he'll get his first points out of the game. Trian Holden over to Christian Hartley. Holden now going to be double teamed. He gets across court to Hartley, overthrows him. Another turnover here. Turnovers, the name of the game thus far, costing the Steelers big time right now. And just like that, Bryce Butler will check out of the game, and Lamont Samuels Jr. will check in. For the Royals, it'll be Woodward bringing it up. He'll be guarded by Samuels. Bowles now has it. He goes back to Woodward. It goes over to Shepin. Shepin wanted the inside pass there to Smith. Didn't have it. That time, Woodward found it. He goes out to Darnell. Darnell called for the travel prior to the shot. The Steelers will take over. The Royals falling back into a not a press, but like a half-court press, essentially. And tipped out of bounds. The ball tipped out by Darnell. The Steelers will inbound. The Steelers down 12. One solo point on a driver free throw. And Woodward almost picked Samuels' pocket. Samuels had to drive. He found Trian Holden, who kicked out to Christian Hartley. Cross-court pass to Denzel Driver. Too far back behind the three. Didn't want to take the shot. Off the screen from Stewart, ball tipped out of bounds by Bowles, and it looks like the Erie Royals have all the momentum here. The Farrell Steelers are a scrappy team, but tonight they found out that Erie is just as scrappy. Tonight's game is going to be about who wants it more. Samuels now has it. He'll be the initiator of the offense. Samuels guarded by Perry. And over to Driver. Driver guarded heavily by Bowles. Hartley guarded heavily by Woodward. And Hartley off the back, behind the back. Cross court to Trian Holden, almost over his head, not quite. Trian Holden on the drive, off the board, give him two. Trian Holden getting the Steelers' first field goal tonight. And Woodward now on the drive, inside pass to Smith, and he's gonna be fouled. Foul looked to be on number 4, Omar Stewart. And following the referee's call, it will be on Omar Stewart. Smith will go to the line for 2 more. And Smith will miss his first. Entering the game, number 35, Cheyenne Rain. Checking out, number 4, Omar Stewart Jr. And Smith won't get neither of the pair to go from the charity stripe. Rebound found its way into Smith's hands. He'll go up, shot blocked, fell back into his hands, and he gets it up for 2 more. And Erie now back into the full-hearted, full-court press. And Perry's going to be called for the block on Driver. Samuels will have it now. And it'll be stolen by Smith. He's got nothing but court ahead. He slams it down. He's got 2 more. Up the court, Driver had a 3. It wouldn't go. Rain tried to get his hands on the rebound. Darnell tipped it from above. The Steelers should maintain possession. The referees are going to say that it was tipped off on Rain. And the Royals will have the possession. And Woodward now will cross the timeline. The Steelers remain, well, now they've pushed up into a 3-2 zone rather than falling back into the 2-3. Cross court to Woodward. He takes the 3. Out the rim. Up Darnell. He gets it to fall for 2 more. Samuels now. And timeout called by Coach Stewart. That is his third timeout. This is only the first quarter. If you're the Steelers, you got to get your heads on your shoulders. You got to figure out what you're doing wrong, and you got to stop making the mistakes. If you're going to lose the game by the other team beating you. Don't donate the game to Erie in this situation here. The Steelers find themselves down 16 early, and they're going to need to get their heads in the game and stop making the costly turnovers in order to fight back. And so out of the timeout for the Steelers, it'll be Bryce Butler, Lamont Samuels Jr., Christian Hartley, Denzel Driver, and Cheyenne Rain. And for the Royals, it'll be Perry, Woodward, Carr, Darnell, and Bowles. Butler now bring it up 1 guard and 1. Nice matchup there. Woodward picking the pocket, and they're going to say that Driver touched it with a foot on the line. The Royals will have the possession. Bowles now over to Woodward. He's going to bring it up to cross the timeline. In that game against McDowell, Woodward was the leading scorer tonight. He's been the initiator, and he's done a very good job, as you can tell from the scoreboard. Bowles now inside to Darnell. Darnell's going to have the shot blocked by Rain. Perry's got the rebound. He's going to go up. He won't get it. Butler with the rebound. He gets the outlet pass to Hartley. Hartley to Samuels. Samuels on the lane. Nice inside screen by Rain. Samuels puts it down for 2. The Steelers showing some heart on that possession. They'll need to keep doing the same. Woodward now over to Perry. Perry in the corner to Bowles. Bowles looking for the inside pass to Darnell. Wasn't there. Woodward on the cross court. He's going to kick to the corner. That's Carr pulling up for 3. He won't get it to go off the opposite side of the rim. Hartley has an outlet pass to Butler. Butler now looking to make a move here on Perry. He gives it back to Hartley. Hartley has a lane. He's going to take the lane. He goes up. He was stripped in the air. Cheyenne Rain picks it up, puts it down for 2. The Steelers trying to go on a little bit of a run here. And Perry now, the one to bring it across the timeline. Off the screen by Darnell. Perry found a little bit of a lane. Up somehow and in for Perry. Now Denzel Driver will be the one to bring it up for the Steelers. He'll be guarded by Bowles. Driver to Hartley. And he's going to run a cut through. Over to Samuels. He was looking for Driver, didn't have him. Samuels found a lane. He's going to go up. Little floater. Oh, just off the outside of the iron. And Rain's going to be called. Going up, he gets the foul. He'll go shoot 2. Little bit of a momentum shift. Something positive going in the Steelers' direction. Not exactly the trend of the first quarter. Luckily, they've been able to turn it around, hopefully take this momentum into the second quarter and mount a comeback to come and take the lead going into the half. Rain will not get the first of 2. And Bryce Butler will check out of the game. Tree and Holden will check into the game for the Steelers. And for Erie, Woodward will check out and Vera will check in. And Rain will get neither of his charity stripe throw shots to go down. And now the ball will be in the hands of Shepin. 10 seconds left. Over to Vera. Vera now trying to make a move on Hartley, playing some good defense, pick the pocket. Hartley falls on it, gives it over to Rain. With less than 2 seconds left, it came out of his hands. Couldn't keep control of the ball there. And so we will fall to a 14-point deficit heading into the second quarter. The Erie Royals lead your Farrell Steelers 21-7 behind a strong first quarter by Smith, 2 dunks there in the first quarter, leading the Royals with 11 points thus far. If you're the Steelers, you need to take the momentum you had ending the first quarter and generate it into points in the second quarter, and this comeback will be no longer referred to a comeback at halftime. It could be a tied game. If you're Erie, you need to get away from those mistakes that you made there at the end of the first quarter, go back to the pressure, full court press defense you were putting on the Steelers from the jump, pressure them into those turnovers, make them kill themselves, and you can mount this lead to even more than just 14 points. And Holden now will walk it up to begin the second quarter. And he'll hand off to Jamin Holden. Jamin Holden off the screen from Stewart. He's going to get it back to his brother. That's Trean Holden. Trean Holden pops a 3 off the rim. Won't go. Rebound Smith. Ball brought up here by Vera. He crosses over on Jamin Holden. Went up, under. Cross-court pass. 3 won't go. Not Carr, that is Shepin. And the layup attempt won't go either. Ball tipped out of bounds there by Perry, and the Steelers will have the possession. Holden walking it up across the timeline. Guarded heavily there by Shepin. Perry now gets the on-ball assignment of driver. Ball tipped away. Perry falls on it. Perry gets it up to Smith. Smith with the lane. Holden's going to try to chase him down. Perry lost possession. Steelers will take over. Stewart, the inbounder, over to Trean. And driver now over to Jamin Holden, over to Trean. Off the screen, Trean Holden, step back, gonna drive, step back mid-range, inside the iron and out. Rebound there, picked up by Vera, knocked out by driver. The beneficiary of that would be Perry, who gets it, and it's turned over, but Smith somehow comes up with it, goes inside, and he went up, and he's going to be called for a foul. If you're the Steelers, I understand you're frustrated, and I understand when the guy's driving past you, but when he's driving past you, if it's in this situation, it would be a good foul because you're not giving up a wide-open layup. But in any other situation, you don't want to foul there. Fouls are hurting you. Turnovers are hurting you. If you're going to foul in that situation, I guess it benefited that they did as Smith missed the first of 2 free throws. Checking into the game will be number 11, Darnell. Checking out of the game is number 5, Perry. Checking in. Okay, checking back in is Vera, who did not come off the court. And checking out is Carr. And the second shot will fall for Smith. Driver will be the one across the timeline, and now he's guarded by Mooney. And Mooney cross court to Holden, over to the opposite Holden. That would be Jamin now with the possession of the rock. And he's guarded heavily by Smith. Holden looking inside for Rain, tipped out from behind by Darnell. Ball found its way to Smith on a pass from, Vera. Went right through the hands of Smith. Steelers will take the possession. Driver now gets a screen there from Stewart, and his arm will be hit on the attempt steal by Vera. The Steelers will bring it in. Entering the game is number 33, Gary Satterwhite, and number 2, Christian Hartley for the Steelers. Checking out Jamin Holden, that's number 5, and number 0, Agent 0, Denzel Driver. Trian Holden over to Christian Hartley. Hartley on the cross, mid-range, knocked out of there by Mooney. Looks like Rain apparently got hit in the face. Referees are gonna call a timeout. Didn't exactly see what happened. I'm sure he might have got hit with a backhand or an elbow coming down trying to go for that rebound. As we will take an injury timeout. Other scores around high school sports. Fairview is leading Franklin at half, 36-25, and Hickory leading Sharon at the end of the first quarter, 21-4. As well as Wilmington leading Sharpsville at the end of one in a close one, 11-10. And now Rain will head to the bench. Stewart will remain in the game. Vera has it, looking to get something, looking to get back in that rhythm, that first quarter momentum that the Royals had. Mooney now with the ball, and he's close to the timeline. Hartley almost forced him over. Shepin found Smith inside, went up for the dunk. It's going to be waved off due to the travel. That is a call that you love to see if you're the Steelers. And facial expressions tell the whole story. Coach Koval not happy about the call. Coach Stewart a little relieved with the call. As Driver now wanted Satterwhite inside, couldn't get it to him. Driver now on the cross. Referee blows the whistle. Hand check called. That hand check will be called on number 11. That's Darnell for the Royals. Steelers will inbound. Driver now calling out a play. He gets a screen from Satterwhite. Driver one-on-one down the lane, puts up a shot, and he's called. Foul on the floor called, not a shooting foul. Trian Holden will be the inbounder. Thus far, through 4 minutes played here in the second quarter, the Steelers have been held scoreless. Not what you want to see if you are Coach Stewart and crew, but the Steelers only giving up 1 point on the flip side of things. Obviously not what you want to see if you're Coach Koval. Now, Holden with the ball. Trying to direct traffic here, get his guys in motion. And he wanted to go down low to Satterwhite. Pass was telegraphed there by Mooney, who's going to take it all the way, put up a layup of his own. It won't go. Hartley has it way up the court. Hail Mary pass to Driver, who went up and had it tipped, stripped out, and they're going to say it tipped off of Driver at the end. I don't know how accurate that is, but what the ref calls goes. So it'll be Erie ball. As Mooney will check out of the game, and Carr will check back in. Pass up to Shepin, back over to Bowles. Bowles try to make a move, and he'll lose his handling. Driver there, getting a little pumped up here, trying to get some energy moved back through this Farrell Steeler team. Energy is going to be the name of the game. Erie brought all of it, and the Steelers are trying to take a little bit of it. Hartley now over to Driver. Driver's going to slow it up, reset things. He's going to get a screen from Satterwhite, and it's going to be called a push and not a screen. The Royals will take possession. Driver looks hurt. Driver is hurt. The Steelers are down a man, and the play is continuing. No referee timeout. 3-point field goal is good. I'm confused as to how the referees didn't call a timeout. Driver was obviously hurt prior to the shot. Nonetheless, the bucket will count, and we'll go to an injury timeout. And if you're Coach Stewart, I know you're hot about that. Driver obviously was walking off the court prior to the ball coming back cross court for the wide open jumper. Nonetheless, the bucket counts. Shepin gets on the board for the first time tonight with that 3-point shot. Driver heads to the locker room to be attended to. And they'll say that Holden's foot was on the line. The Royals take over. And Bowles inbound to Darnell, who puts it in for 2. And Hartley had it. Ball tipped off of Carr. Hartley now gets it into Stewart, who will get it over to Samuels, who will go right through the middle of the press, up, under, and in. Give it to Samuels for 2. Woodward now to Shepin. Shepin guarded by Samuels over to Carr. Carr to Woodward, almost picked out of his hand there by Holden. And Woodward takes the 3 and gets it to fall. And the Steelers are letting this lead snowball. Not good at all. Found Samuels, did Holden. And Samuels trying to make a move. Gets it to Hartley and back to Samuels. Samuels will take it to the top and try to get the offense moving. Over to Hartley, over to Holden. Holden goes back to Hartley. Carr tried to step up and pick the pass. Hartley shot the 3 off the back iron and out. And Bowles will push it up. He's gonna go through the Steeler defense and get an and 1 call. Bowles gets on the line following the foul and has his first bucket of the night. And the free throw goes off the front, off the back, and it rolls down in. Samuels now pushing it up, has Jamin Holden. Jamin Holden will drive, put one up, won't fall. Rebound Hartley, back over to Jamin Holden, who gets it to fall for 2. Now Mooney will bring it up. Woodward has it, screen set by Carr, pass over to Bowles. Another screen set by Carr. Bowles found a lane, can't hold the possession. Picked up by Holden. Holden over to Samuels, who gets up and under as Darnell tried to get the block, but he was just too little too late. Nice up and under move there by Samuels. Great anticipation there by Samuels to go up and under, avoiding the block, putting it in for a very much needed 2 for the Steelers. However, an on the floor foul puts the Royals in the bonus. So now we will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Checking out of the game is Carr for the Royals. Checking into the game is Vera. Checking out of the game for the Steelers will be Trian Holden, and checking in will be Bryce Butler. And the first of the 1-and-1 won't go. So Samuels will push it up. He's got Butler. Butler wide open. Went up just a little too hard. Layup won't fall. Woodward pushing it up, and it is essentially 3-on-1. The alley-oop layup goes in for Vera. And the turnover. The Royals will take possession. And now Mooney has it. Screen set by Darnell. Pass over to Vera, over to Woodward. Woodward now on the drive. Pulls it back out. They're going to hold for the last shot. 10 seconds and counting. 7, 5, 4. The drive by Woodward won't go. Hartley, long shot of an attempt, will not go. The Steelers will be down 22 going into the locker rooms. The first quarter was disastrous. The second quarter a bit better. Still alarming. If you're the Steelers, you're not down so many that you can't mount a comeback. Again, only down 22. Yes, that may sound bad, but it isn't as bad as you would think. If they could get the offense moving, if they could get some points generated and slow Erie down at all costs, they got to slow Woodward down. If they slow him down, they slow that Erie offense down, as he's been the one initiating. If you slow him down, that offense slows down, you force somebody else to beat you, make them take a couple bad shots, and you're right back in this thing. But going into the locker room, Coach Stewart can't be happy, and if I know a good coach, Coach Coble isn't happy either, because the Steelers were able to generate some turnovers that were just, that shouldn't have been happening if you're the Royals, and the same is said for the Steelers. So both coaches have a lot to discuss with their teams, hopefully come out in the second half, and the Steelers can make the game a little bit more competitive. And if you're the Royals, you want to get out of here at the half, and you want to start building on to this lead and put the Steelers away, because the Steelers not a team you want to let come back on you or get any bit of momentum going, because in that case, you let the Steelers get some momentum going, you miss a couple shots, the Steelers make a couple shots, and you're in a bad situation. We'll see you after the halftime break. All right, and so coming out of the half, first, scores from around the league. The Kennedy boys currently lead Rocky Grove 22-12 at the end of the first quarter. Hickory jumped out to a stellar lead over the Sharon Tigers, 44-15 at half. Sharpsville kind of opened the gap there a little bit for their lead over Wilmington. They're currently leading at halftime 28-16. For our game, the Erie Royals lead the Farrell Steelers 35-15. Smith leads all scorers with 12, and Lamont Samuels Jr. leading the Steelers charge with 6. To start the half, Woodward will have it. He'll come up off a screen from Smith and kick it to Shippen. And the pass was intended for Darnell. It'll be off the leg of Driver, and we'll reset. And so now Woodward, guarded full court by Driver, tries to blow by him, and Driver will be called for the reach foul. And Bowles will get the inbound to Woodward. And Woodward will give it to Shippen. Screen from Smith. Another screen set there by Darnell. Back to Woodward. Screen Darnell won't be used. Inside handoff to Darnell. Went to go back inside to Smith, who wasn't ready for the ball. Turnover. And as the Steelers prepare to bring it up, or no, they'll say Erie retained. They'll say a Steeler tipped it out of bounds. And Farrell will get the steal. Over to Driver from Hartley. Off the window, won't go. Smith will push it up. And he has Bowles, who lobs it up just a little behind. But Smith will grab it, put it in for 2. And I'm not sure if it was a referee timeout or a warning maybe issued there. While the Steelers prepare to bring it up. In Whippeal action, the Newcastle Hurricanes lead Chartiers Valley 35-26 at half. Jamin Holden now with the ball. He went to go to his brother Tran, stolen and laid up and in by Bowles. And stolen by Woodward off the pass that was intended to go to Hartley. Layup missed. Bowles missed the layup as well. Hartley has it, gives it to Rain, and he'll bring it up. He's trying to get rid of it. He gets his pocket picked by Bowles. Bowles loses, and the lob went up. I'm not sure exactly what foul was called, but the lob was up for Darnell, and apparently he was fouled on the dunk try. So he'll be at the line to shoot 2. And he will airball the first of 2. Reminiscent of the Shaq Laker days. And he'll make the second. Darnell now has 9 in the game. Holden pushing it up the floor. He's going to be double teamed down in the corner and throws it off of Shippen, but Woodward makes an athletic play, saves the ball, pushing it up the court. He's now got the numbers. Those are the type of hustle plays you like to see. Smith misses the Smith misses the mid-range J. Saved by Woodward again, went over to Bowles, and he'll take it in for 2. Hartley bringing it up, gives it to Holden. Holden back over to Hartley. Hartley's got one man in front of him, spins into a double team, outs it to Trean Holden, who gives it to the corner Denzel Driver. Nice to see he's back in the game. He'll drive and he'll put it up for 2. Denzel Driver picking up his first field goal of the game. And now Shippen with the ball here. Over to Darnell, who gives it back to Woodward. Woodward inside working Smith. Driver goes down, gets a hand on the ball. Smith falls on it, and he'll turn it over, intended for Woodward. Samuels Jr. will be the one to bring it up. And to the middle, pass from Holden to Stewart. Stewart to the other Holden brother who will take it in for 2. That's Trean. And so now Woodward off a screen set by Smith. Cross court to Shippen. He sized up Holden for 3. Wouldn't take the shot. He backs it out. He goes over to Bowles. He sets a screen on Stewart. Rain will switch. Pass over to Darnell. Darnell gives it to Smith. Smith fakes the handoff to Woodward. Goes inside to Darnell, who loses control. And now Holden. Fake and cross, gets it up to Samuels. Samuels now gets his pocket pick. That's Bowles. He'll take it the entire length of the court, and that was a ferocious dunk as the Royals attempt to push their lead back to 30, or excuse me, back to 20. Or 30. I was right the first time, 30. Stewart gets a layup. And Samuels will guard Woodward here. Shippen, long 3 off the front iron and out. Rebound, Woodward won't go. And an and 1 called off the rebound there by Darnell. And thus far, it looks like this is in the cards to be a long night for the Steelers. And the second shot will go. Excuse me, the and 1 shot will go. Trean Holden, cross court to Jamin Holden. Down to Lamont Samuels, who had Cheyenne Rain, but foot was on the line. Turnover. Turnovers have been the name of the game for the Steelers. Turnovers have been the key to victory for the Royals. Last touch by Samuels. The Royals will retain possession. Bowles will now inbound. He goes over to Shippen, back to Bowles. Bowles will bring it up. The Steelers falling back into a lax full court press. Holden will be screened. Switched over is Stewart. Shippen finds himself open for a second. Didn't have the angle for the shot. And the ball ends up back into the hands of Bowles, who finds a nice slipping Darnell, who missed the dunk the first time. Goes up the second time, has a block by Rain. Stewart now with the ball. He's bringing it up. He's got the lane up. Fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. And as Stewart goes to the line for 2, at halftime, the Kennedy Catholic Golden Eagles are leading Rocky Grove 45-20. Stewart gets his first shot to fall. That's his first bucket of the night. first free throw of the night. He had a prior field goal. And that'll fall as well. So both of them fall. 47-21 is your score. Woodward pushing it up. Woodward just has that blow-by speed. And that's going to be Perry around the screen and off the mark, but tipped in by Smith. Stewart over to Holden. Holden went up the middle, was intended for Stewart. I think he thought Stewart was going to keep moving. He didn't, which means that'll be a turnover. And the ball will end up back into the hands of the Erie Royals. And Woodward now has the double screens. Over to Bowles. He'll get the screen there from Darnell. Pass out to Darnell. Bowles slips. Lost control of the ball. Still got it up and got the lucky roll. Samuels now off the screen from Satterwhite. Gets another screen from Stewart. Samuels will pop a three. Nope, won't go. Rebound Smith. He's going to outlet to Darnell. Takes 2 steps and a layup. Samuels now sizing up Darnell. Pass over to Stewart. Back to Holden. Screen from Stewart. Holden pulls a 3 after the added dribble. It won't go. Rain on the attempted rebound. Couldn't get it. It tipped out. Pass over from Smith to Bowles. Alley-oop to Smith, and he slams it home. Samuels now has his pocket picked. Woodward tried to come up with it. Perry outran everybody to pick it up, knocks it in off the window. That's his first bucket of the night. Lamont Samuels now going across the timeline. He gets a screen from Stewart. He's going to get another screen from Rain. Takes the screen between the leg dribble. Picks up his dribble now. Has nowhere to go. Timeout called. 27.1 left to go in the third period. 57-21 your score. Not the model night for the Steelers. Nonetheless, there has been a schedule change, so your Steelers will be back in action tomorrow night right here at the EJ Gym. So with the added game for tomorrow night, that turns what was supposed to be tonight, the second and final night of a back-to-back, that turns into tomorrow night's added game will turn it into a back-to-back-to-back. With one more game tomorrow night, the Farrell boys in action back here, 6 p.m. for the JVs, 7:30 for the varsity. Of course, the varsity will be streamed right here on the Farrell Area School District Athletic YouTube channel. Butler now with the ball. He'll get it to Hartley. Hartley gonna dish the instructions. And he'll get a screen from Stewart. Bowles right around it, guards him back. Hartley almost stepped on the timeline, went behind the back. Hartley needs a man, he's got Butler. Butler guarded heavily by Perry. Gets the screen from Cheyenne Rain. Loses control of the ball, will not get a shot up to end the third. And at the end of 3, the Erie Royals lead the Farrell Steelers 57-21. so here we are to begin the fourth and final period of the night. Satterwhite now down low, looking to make a move. Didn't have anything, gets it back out to Butler. Butler goes across to the opposite wing, that's Hartley. Hartley now guarded by Bowles. And he gets inside, up, over, won't get it to fall. Rebound Stewart, he puts it up himself, he won't get it to go. Rebound picked up by Mooney. And the Royals pushing it up the court now. Mooney has it, 5-on-4 situation. Up went Vera, he couldn't bring it down and in. Throws it off the kneecap of Hartley. The Royals will retain possession. And now Perry will be the guy to get it off the inbound. He gives it over to Mooney. Perry gets it back, gets a screen from Vera, wanted to get the slip lay, wouldn't get it. He goes outside, and Carr had it, went to take it in, lost control, grabbed out of the air by Satterwhite. And Hartley's pass to Stewart. Stewart drive, floater, give him two. And foul called on the drive. The foul will be on Omar Stewart, and Vera will go to the line for two. Checking in for the Royals will be number 10, Corthers. I want to say it is. Checking out is Bowles. Checking in is Perry. Checking in is Hunter, and checking out is Perry. And so the second shot won't go. They'll say foot was on the line. Steelers will take the ball. So Holden will bring it up. And it'll go off his foot and cross the timeline. Over and back, the Royals will take possession. And the pass is into Mooney. He'll drive, pull up for the free throw jumper. Hartley had it, gives it over to Holden, who coughs it up. Vera has it, he'll take it. Oof, around the head of Hartley. Missed the layup, grabbed back up by Hunter, and he'll put it in. And Holden was looking for Hartley to give it to, didn't have him. Now he wanted to go to him, still didn't have him. Corlers on the steal, taken and sent off the glass by Stewart. Hartley has it, gives it up to Holden, and he'll put it in for two. Mooney now. And he get over to Corlers, and they'll say that Corlers dropped the ball on the line. Steelers will take over. And a block called, and Hartley will have the chance to go to the line for two. Steelers will attempt to cut into the 35-point lead set by the Royals. Hartley won't get his first of 2 to go. The Steelers, Trian Holden and Lamont Samuels Jr., who came in off the bench, tied for leading scorer for the Steelers with 6 points apiece. And for the Royals, it's been Smith. He's been their guy, their key to win. 18 solos. And now, that is Hunter. He gives it over to Vera, who sizes up Scarborough. Round over, went up, ball didn't fall, got the call. He'll go to the line for 2. So for the Steelers, if I'm the Farrell Steelers at this point, barring any type of miracle, this one is over. So following tonight, you go into the locker room, you regroup, and you get ready, and you come out tomorrow, and you get a big W. And so with this loss, I do believe the Steelers will fall back to 500 at 2-2. And Butler will get it to Stewart. Stewart had the cross, lost possession, foul called. Correction, the Steelers will actually fall sub 500. They'll go from where they were currently 1-1, with tonight being the opportunity to move back to 500. They'll fall to 1-3 as the Erie Royals keep their momentum moving after that big-time win over McDowell. They come here to Farrell. They get another big win, and they'll look to move forward in what I will believe is going to be a state championship run this year as they continue to stack up momentum on their playoff push. Holden now going up. He gets fouled going up. Shot won't go, so he'll go to the line for 2. As you see the scoreboard correction, both of those free throws were missed by Erie, and the scoreboard had given Erie a point. So it'll go from 62-26, or excuse me, go from 63-26 to 62-26 as Holden makes both of his free throws. And now that's Horton with it. Turn it over. And Samuels now with the cross. He'll bring it up. He'll push through. Got a little bit of a lane. And they'll call him for the push. Samuels will get the push call on Hunter. And Holden will inbound to Scarborough. Back out to Holden, who pulls a 3. Didn't get enough under it. That'll be an air ball. And Erie will tip it out of bounds. The Steelers will retain possession. 1:31 left to go in the fourth quarter. Scarborough has it. Gets it out to Butler. Butler now tried to make a move. Didn't have an open lane. As Hunter is going to apply the pressure, but be called for a hand check. And at this point, it's all fundamental from here. The Steelers will fall to 1-3. But, again, this is a relatively different look to the Steelers squad this year. Lost some big players to graduation. So I think once this team gets hot, be a team to look out for as the ball stolen there by Corthers. He'll take it up. He won't get it to fall. It'll be tipped out by Elman, and Omar Stewart will inbound it for the Steelers. And Scarborough has it, and he'll push it up. Goes behind the back. That was a nice move. Holden, 3 ball, short, won't go. And Corthers goes up, lays it in. He gets 2 on the board. And that'll be the end of the game. Your Farrell Steelers fall to the Erie Royals by a score of 64-27. For the Royals, it was Smith leading the charge, 18 points on the night. For the Steelers, they had Lamont Samuels Jr. put up 6, Omar Stewart Jr. put up 6, and Trean Holden put up 6. But again, not enough to close the game. We will see you back here tomorrow with more high school boys basketball action.